The president of China plans to legalize XRP and purchase $40 billion of it for their strategic cryptocurrency reserve. This is now since sources from overseas indicate that XRP will be worth more over $60,000. Additionally, there has been a significant change in how the U.S. is handling XRP. The idea of putting more than $60 trillion into the XRP ledger to use cryptocurrencies like XRP to pay down the U.S. debt is already taking shape. Therefore, we give the viewer of today's movie some free XRP before we get into the actual material and thoroughly examine all the facts and information to demonstrate it is exactly what we're talking about. It takes less than 5 minutes to complete, and this is genuinely free money, guys. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, and as always, be sure to register on Apple using the link I provided in the description. You can buy anything from 1 penny to $10. You will receive $100 in free XRP as long as you register and complete a transaction. Having said that, let's dive straight into the video for today. But according to Forbes, the most reputable verified news source, the integration of $40 billion into XRP would cause a significant supply shock and cost $60,000 per XRP is not an accident. Rather, a price surge for XRP is about to occur. The facts regarding the Chinese government's adoption of the XRP letter and the legalization of cryptocurrencies is extremely obvious. Not to mention that this statement follows the Chinese central bank's partnership with Ripple to accept XRP as payment. And according to a legitimate, confirmed claim, this will give XRP an extra $20 trillion. Therefore, it's not as outrageous when you consider the $40 billion XRP buyback and the $20 trillion infusion. You claim that using XRP will bring in $20 trillion, and as a result, China and the government intend to purchase and create a cryptocurrency reserve made up of XRP. Once more, I want to make it clear that this information is not totally confirmed. Imply that there aren't reliable sources. I've done some research, but it looks like it will be real or even more real than that. In particular, following the announcement, U.S. President Donald Trump designated XRP as his personal asset for the U.S. cryptocurrency reserve. This is his statement. I'm going to discuss this with you guys right now, but before, look at this. According to President Donald Trump, backing for cryptocurrency like XRP is essential. China will take the lead if America doesn't. Real-life unlocking of this $630 trillion market on the XRP ledger. Donald Trump is clearly seeking to replace the current state of affairs after realizing that China is attempting to gain control of the XRP ledger and XRP in the cryptocurrency industry. After years of dishonest attacks by the previous administration, he really stated on his personal Twitter page that a U.S. crypto reserve will automate this vital business. For this reason, the Presidential Working Committee was instructed to proceed with a crypto strategic reserve that will comprise XRP Solana and ADA. In my second directive on digital assets, I will ensure that the United States becomes the global center of cryptocurrency, and we will restore America to its former glory. However, consider this: XRP is the most popular cryptocurrency, and it is not said that China will take the lead in the adoption of XRP and other cryptocurrencies if they do not. Once more, it appears that this is actually happening and that several central banks will repurchase a significant amount of XRP. Globalized central banks have been adopting XRP in the XRP ledger, not just in China and the US. The Bank of Ireland, the Central Bank of Ireland, the Central Bank of Switzerland, the Central Bank of France, and even Europe is introducing a digital euro that will be constructed with the help of Ripple Labs and the XRP ledger. Once more, though, they are keeping you in the dark about it because they do not want you to invest in XRP. In particular, reports have shown that JP Morgan and BlackRock have been secretly building their holdings in an attempt to grow their bags prior to the widespread adoption and price spike of XRP, and they have been continuously manipulating the market. Now, gentlemen, as previously stated, you must comprehend the range of XRP's pricing. For example, Red Gunninghouse, the CEO of Ripple, declared during the election that XRP will be the next Bitcoin on steroids and that it would be the bridge asset for all daily transactions globally. And you can tell that XRP is on the verge of reaching all-time highs when you compare it to the $130,000 price of Bitcoin, and each XRP is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The co-founder of XRP actually declared in public that XRP is intended to sell for $10,000. Another co-founder, David Schwartz, emphasized that the world deserves XRP and made it very evident that it makes more sense for XRP to be worth $1 million than it does to be worth even one. You must so comprehend the scale in this situation. When XRP and Ripple officials say that XRP will cost between tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm going to play this video for you because I think it's crucial to emphasize this. Given that China and the US are contemplating a significant multi-billion-dollar buyback of XRP institutional adoption and central bank adoption, why wouldn't it be? It's time to roll the clips. I believe that knowing what is genuine and what is just hype is the most crucial thing happening in the cryptocurrency space. Well, I believe some people could notice that it was the Napster of digital assets. In other words, Napster was the first to digitize music and showed that, yes, you can do a lot of great stuff with it. Ultimately, however, they were evading royalties and trademark restrictions, and the government intervened, which is why Napster failed. However, Pandora, iTunes, and Spotify were all huge successes. I believe that some of the initial issues that Bitcoin was created to address may be resolved by the upcoming generation of digital assets. Will XRP replace Bitcoin? All of this is one thing, but there have also been reports stating that if XP were to support this volume, the 300 trillion that would be transferred through cross-border transfers would result in 572. However, real finance is the reason for all of this. You people have no idea about real finances. It involves using the real token to infuse 600, the 154.39 trillion in global real estate assets onto the acceptor ledger. The action that helped you take delight in using tokens and content to soar from 2 cents is also on the acceptor ledger. More than 4,502 cents. Take a look at this now. Literally days or weeks. Guys, what's the actual chicken price? You take a peek at the widespread consolidation, very low resistance and very strong support. However, there is consolidation to click here. Naturally, there is a significant breakthrough following each consolidation. One is that a genuine token will cost at least hundreds of dollars. Once more, each real token is worth 3 cents. Think about it. At the very least, we're discussing a 10,000x per actual token. This indicates a genuine token. You can make $10,000 with just $1. You may make $100,000 with $10. Investing just $1,000 or $10,000 in actual tokens might yield $10 million. And the reason it's so big is because it's on the XUp Realtor. The fact that it is supported by a legitimate institution, however, is its strongest feature. Do your homework, they aren't financializers anymore. I'll include links below. Check them out. Scholarly David, Com Payofi, Com and Fair Rewards, which I repurchase. To learn more, click here. Additionally, you can visit the actual chain to see them, or all of the links will be in the description below. I'll end the film here, folks. With that said, please remember to share, subscribe, and like this video. Peace, and I'll see you all again soon.